Hello, my dear students. A very cheerful and energetic morning to all of you. I hope you all are staying safe and at the same time cautious at your place. So, here we are today again with the revision part of the poem The Field Mouse, which we have discussed in the earlier lesson. So, today we will be discussing the question and answers of this poem, and I'm going to start with the A part, that is, answer the following questions orally. Question number 1. Refer to the first stanza and describe the appearance of the field mouse. It's a very simple question, and I hope you must be remembering the appearance of the field mouse which we have discussed. The field mouse has soft brown fur with bright eyes. I'm repeating it once again. It has soft brown fur and bright eyes. Now moving on to question number 2. Why isn't the field mouse seen during the winter season? Dear students, we have read in the poem that the field mouse is often seen out in the warm weather. But why isn't he seen during the winter season? In winter, the field mouse sleeps, hibernating through the cold season. It means during the winter season, the field mouse hibernates. Hibernates means it stays inside its hole and keeps on sleeping during the whole cold weather. It doesn't comes out during the cold weather. Only when the weather becomes warm, it is active again. Question number 3. When does the field mouse becomes active again? The field mouse becomes active again when the weather becomes warm, and that is often seen in spring season. That is, after cold, it becomes active again when the warm weather comes back in spring. Question number 4. Describe the food habits of the field mouse. Food habit means we have to describe what all things the field mouse eats. The field mouse eats nuts, fruits, acorns, corn and grain. It collects these from the meadows and the fields and sometimes from the farmer's granary. Why have I mentioned here the word granary? Granary means the place where the farmers have kept their crops after cutting them. They have stacked their crops. And sometimes the field mouse attempts to go there and tries to eat the grains which the farmer has stocked. That is why we have included the word grains also in this answer. Question number 5. What does the poet forbid the field mouse to do? Forbids means the thing which the poet suggests or wants the field mouse not to do. Forbids means the action or the thing which the field mouse should not do. The poet forbids the field mouse from stealing the grain from the granary where the farmer has stored it. Or we can say it other way around also. The poet forbids the field mouse to steal the grain or to steal or to spoil the crops which the farmers have stacked in their houses. We can say it both ways. Question number 6. Refer to the last stanza and explain the poet's advice to the field mouse. The poet advised the field mouse to make its hole among the moss under the tall oak and play harmlessly in its shade or on the sunny meadow, but to avoid the corn and house of the farmer to prevent any harm befalling him. It means the poet advised the field mouse to just play out in the fields or the meadows, eat the acorns and nuts which have fallen on the ground from the trees, and avoid going to the houses of the farmer or the common people so that no harm befalls back on him. So these were the 6 questions from A part. Answer the questions orally. Now moving on to the B part. Question number 1 says, what do you understand by the farmer stacks his treasure? In this part, it means the farmer has after cutting the crops, the farmer piles them up and keeps it in his room or in his house, which refers to the treasure. His crops has been termed as treasure because he has worked all the year round hard to grow his crops, and when he cuts his crops and stacks, that is after cutting his crops he piles them up and keeps it in his house. That is known as the farmer stacks his treasure. Then question number 2. What does the poet mean by a pretty, quite harmless thing? The poet here refers to the field mouse only. That is, the poet refers to the field mouse by calling it a pretty, quiet, harmless thing. Question number 3. He has stacked with so much pain. Who is implied by he? He here refers to the farmer, or we can say it by he. It is implied, it refers to the farmer. B part. What has been stacked? The farmer has stacked his grain and crops. C part. Does the poet sympathize with the person referred to here, and why? Yes, the poet sympathizes with the farmer and respects the fact that he has collected his treasure with so much pain. It means, yes, the poet sympathizes with the farmer, that the farmer has worked too hard to grow his crops and has done a lot of hard work all the year round to just collect his treasure. At the same time, he also sympathizes with the little field mouse who has hibernated all the winter and is now hungry and looking for food to survive. It means, first, the poet sympathizes with the farmer who has worked so hard to grow his crops, and secondly, he has some sympathy for the field mouse also, because after hibernating all through the winters, he is in need of food now to survive in the warm weather. Now, moving on to the C part. Refer to the dictionary and find out the difference between a mouse and a rat. So it's a question where you have to refer to the dictionary and find out the difference between the two. So this question I am giving it to you so that you should consult a dictionary, see the dictionary, open it and find the difference. A small or a little bit difference is there between a mouse and a rat. So I suggest, or I just advise you to just look into the dictionary and find the difference. Moving on to the D part. Here we are going to talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem. And before discussing the rhyme scheme of the poem, let us first discuss what is meant by a rhyme scheme. In poetry, a rhyme scheme is the pattern in which words that have the same sound occur at the end of the lines in poems. It means while reading this poem also, you must have noticed at the end of each line, the word which occurs at the end of each line may have the similar sound with another word occurring in the next line or the coming lines, that is the last word of the next lines. For example, I am reading out here the example given it to you. When God at first made man, having a glass of blessing standing by, let us, said he, pour on him all we can. Let the world's riches which dispersed lie contract into a span. Now here, how will we find the rhyme scheme? First, let's see the first line. The last word, we will be focusing on the last word of each line. So line number 1, the last word of this line is man. So look at this word, it is man. We have to just see the sound of the words. Don't focus on the spellings. We have to just see the sound. Second line, last word is by. Now let us say both these words, man and by. Here we are not getting the same sounds. Man has a different sound and by has a different sound. So first we'll underline the man and write here A. Underline the word man and we will write small a in front of it. Second line, by. Now by is not having same sound as man, so we will not write a in front of it, we will write b. Now moving it to the third line, last word. Last word is can. Now we will just check it from the previous two words which we have underlined. First one was man, second one was buy. Now I am going to say man can, buy can. Now you can easily say the man word has a similar sound as that of can, man and can. So I will underline the word can and write A. Why I am writing A? Because it has the same sound as that of man. So man is also having alphabet A. Can will also have the same alphabet A. Moving on to the fourth line. Last word is lie. Now let us check with previous three words. Man, lie. No, they are not similar sounds. Buy, lie. Yes, these two sounds are similar. Can, lie. Now these two are again not similar. Buy and lie. So again I will write the same alphabet which was coming in front of buy. So buy had alphabet B. So I will write now lie, underline lie and write B. Last line, last word, span. Now let us check with previous words. Lie, span. No, the words not at all have similar sounds. Can, span. Yes, they do have similar sounds. Buy and span. Again, they are not similar. Man and span. Yes, now here I am getting three words having similar sounds. Man, can, span. So on the last line also we will underline the word span and write A, because it was having same sound as that of can and man. Now I will check the sequence of the alphabets which I have written in front of these lines. I have written A, B and A, and this is called the rhyme scheme. So now I will write it. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A. So this is how we have found out the rhyme scheme of the poem. I hope you have understood this rhyme scheme, and now you will try to find out the rhyme scheme of the poem as well. And what is the correct way of finding out the rhyme scheme? You just have to check the first stanza of the poem. All the other stanzas will have the same rhyme scheme. So just pick up the first paragraph, first stanza, and then you can find out the rhyme scheme in the similar manner, and then you can note it down in your notebooks. Now coming on to another important part, that is E part in your notebooks. E part in your books, which is talking about the term alliteration. Now first of all, what do you mean by alliteration? When a series or words in a row have the same first consonant sound, it is called alliteration. In simple words, I'll just like to tell you, alliteration means when in a single line you have got two or more words with starting with the same consonants. In a single line you are having two or more words starting from the same consonant. It is called alliteration. Example is sweet was her song. Sweet was her song. Here I am having two words, sweet and song. Both these words are starting with the same consonant S. It means this particular line is having alliteration where S sound is being repeated. We have to check that which consonant is being repeated, the sound is being repeated. So here sweet and song, both are starting with S. So I will say that this line has got alliteration with S sound being repeated. So in the same way, from this poem also I am giving you an example of alliteration. With your fur so soft and brown. With your fur so soft and brown. Here two words, so and soft, both are starting with S. So here alliteration has been used with S sound is being repeated. Now similarly we can find out two more examples of alliteration also. Again I am repeating it for your understanding. In a single line, two or more words starting with the same consonants is termed as alliteration. I hope now you have understood, and you will be able to find out two such examples from the poem also. And now the last part is give antonyms of the following words. Now these antonyms, I hope you know, antonyms means give the opposites. You have to write the opposites of it. So first word is down, down, up, soft, hard, merry, sad, dark. You can write light also or bright also. Both can be correct. Then fallen, risen, pleasure, pain, pretty. We can write ugly or plain. Both can go as well. Quiet, noisy, harmless, harmful, harm, good. So these were the antonyms. So these were the back exercises as well as the question answers of this poem FieldMouse. I hope you have understood it well, and I just advise you to just go through it once again, give a thorough reading and learn it well for your better understanding. Till then, all of you stay safe at your home, and yes, don't forget to keep on doing your work regularly and revise it. Thank you and have a good day.